Hey everyone, I hope you all are safe and doing good. So let's see one more type of sorting algorithm, that is radix sort. Now we have seen all the comparison based sorting, and in the previous lecture we have seen one sort, counting or count sort. This is non comparison based sorting. We don't actually compare these elements. You know what is count sort because we have discussed this thing. This count sort internally will be used in this sorting. Same Reddick sort is also known comparison based sorting algorithm. We don't compare directly these elements by their value. No, we do something else. So it is known comparison based sorting. Right. Now see, there are many advantages of count sort. The main is the time complexity can be linear. The time complexity was n plus k in this case. So it's almost linear. Order of n we can write if k is small. Right. But there are some drawbacks of count sort. We have discussed this. Suppose I want to sort suppose the range is something like this. Elements are less, but the range is something like this. So in this case the range is triple line, the maximum element. So we have to take a count array of this size from 0 to triple line, that is 1000. And in that count array only 1 2 3 4 elements are there and everything else will be 0 0 0. So that's not a good idea in this case to use count array or something like this, right? Second thing is, if we have, suppose I want to sort four numbers. So phone number is something like this, right? So many phone numbers we are having. So in count sort we take the maximum number, then with that of that size 0 to that size or plus 1, the maximum element plus 1, we take count array. So in this case the count array, see the size of count array would be, it's huge. It's not a good idea like to use count sort for this in such kind of examples. When I want to sort like there are roll numbers, 8-digit roll numbers. So in that case also number of digits are more. Number is lengthy. Number of digits here are 10. So it's not a good idea to use count sort in this case. As well as other sorting algorithm, if used, they took time complexity n log n, not less than n log n. And suppose you want to achieve linear time complexity. So do we have a better approach for this? Yes, we have. We can use radix sort. How radix sort is better than count sort in such case? Suppose I want to sort phone numbers. So in radix sort, we don't compare, we don't take like the maximum element from this and the count array size from 0 to this, I mean maximum element plus 1. No, we sort, the main technique is based on individual digits, digit by digit. Okay, either we can start from here to here. Suppose the number is this, so we can start from here, from left to right. Means this is, we generally, it's known as least significant, yeah, digit. This is most significant digit, MSD. So we process this digit, then this, then this, then this. Based on digit by digit, we compare each elements. We don't compare actually, but we apply count sort based on digit, but we process digit by digit, not the whole number kind of that. Okay. Either we can start from here, from this to this, or we can start applying radix or processing digits from here, most significant digit to least significant digit. But the most common approach is this one. We start from this digit and we move here. How we do this thing? Let me just show you the steps. What are the steps in radix sort? First, see, suppose this is my array. I have given this array. So let me just write down here these numbers we are having. So we compare digit by digit and we follow LST from least significant digit to most significant digit. Now there are few numbers are having 3 digit, few are having 2 digit, few are having only 1 digit. So we can do first, generally in code we don't do this thing, but it just for visual representation I'm just telling you this thing. Just make every element, every number having equal number of digit. Maximum number out of this is, maximum number is this one. How many digits we are having? 3. Or suppose we are having one more number, 1 2 3 4. So we find out, first we find out the maximum number is this. How many digits we have? 4. So we make all the elements having 4 number of digits. How we can do that? By adding 0. But we don't add 0 at this side. It's not that if you want to make 2 add 4 digit number, so we 3 add 3 0 like this. No, it will change the value of this number. We add 0 this side. So for now, I'll not take this number. I'll take only maximum 3 digit number only. So let's add 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, 0. But actually, when we code it, we don't add 0. Don't worry, I'll tell you that thing. It just is for to make you understand in a simple way. I'm just telling you this thing. Now, equal number of digits we are having 3. Yes. First, we keep processing based on this digit, LSP, LST, least significant digit. So that we known as pass 1. You know, na place value, face value. If a number is 253, so the place value of this 3 is ones. Place value of 5 is tens. Place value of 2 is hundreds. I know you this thing. Face value is what is the actual value. Face value of 3 is 3. Face value of 5 is 5. Face value of 2 is 2. Like this. So we process based on the place value. Place value. First at ones place, then digit which is at tens place, then at hundred place, then thousand place. Like this we keep moving. Right? Okay. Pass 1. In pass 1, place is 1. Ones digit. Based on ones digit, we sort. So for now, you just forget these digits. You just focus on these 3, 2, 3. Just make it 0, 0. 2, 0, 5, 8, 8. So suppose we have only array this only. This one. Now we after applying something basically internally we apply count sort. We sort this. I'm just writing directly the sorting you can say that order here. See, at first we have 0, the smallest one. So this would be here 0, 1, 0. Then we have next was 2 and 2, but it's stable. See, make sure it's stable sort, radix sort, because it use internally stable counting sort. So to make it stable, see 2 and 2 are same. So this 2 would be first, this 2 would be next. So this 2 would be first. It's 192. It's 002. This is done. This is done. 0 is done. Now we have 3 and 3. So this 3 would be 5, 253 and 3 only. Then we have this 5, 75. Then we have this 8 and 8. So 478 first and 88 after that. So now we have sorted these numbers based on the digit which is at ones place, based on this digit only. This is not complete sorting. Now in next pass, I'll show you how we sort this. Don't worry. Proper technique. Here we have place value is tens. So now we based on this digit, we sort. So just forget this and this. Just focus on the middle digit. See here we have 0 and 0. So this 0 would be first. So 002. Then we write 003. After that, we have 1. So 010. Then 5. 253. Then 77. So 75 first and 478. Then we have 8. So 88. Then we have 9. 192. Right? But still we are left with one more digit. So next is pass 3. Now the place value is tens. Sorry, hundreds. Hundreds means this. Whatever at hundreds place value, the value is based on that we sort now. So now just forget these two digits. Focus on this. First 000. So first just write down the 0. So 2, 3, 10. Then this 0, 75. Then this 0. So number is 88. Then we have 1. Here we have 1. So then write 192. Then we have 2, 253. After that we have 4, 478. And I guess that's it. We are done. Now do we need another pass? No. So how many passes total we need? The number of digits in the maximum element. Maximum element is 478. Number of digits are 1, 2, 3. Only 3 passes you need. That's it. If the number one more is 1, 2, 3, 4, Then how many passes you'll be needed? 4 passes. So that's how we decide number of passes. How many times this passes loop will run. At last, now this is my sorted array, and you can see 2. Then we have, in this case, actually we don't have 3. We have what? Okay, we rather than see this 55, by mistake I write here only 3. Okay, let's make it 3 only. Let's change my array. I have here only 3. Okay, because we have taken this 3, not 53. So we'll not change here, we just change here. So now the sorted array would be 2 and 3, then 10, then 75, then 88 out of this, then 192, then this, and then 478. That's how we get. Right? This is main idea. But the main logic is what? Now, how based on this individual digits we are going to sort this? So for that we apply for each digit, for each place value, stable counting sort. And you know what is counting sort and how to apply. This was counting sort, stable counting sort. So internally we are calling for each pass, in each pass for each digit, this counting sort. Okay, we change it a little bit, not exactly same, but yeah, basic idea is this counting sort we call. I hope the basic idea is clear to you, how radix sort works. So let's try to write down this in code. At first, what we do? Mainly 3 steps. We pass this array. At first step is we find the maximum element from this array. So just write down that thing. Suppose we find out int max, because we want to get the number of digits, how many passes we need to follow. So number of digits in the maximum element. So max element, we just suppose we have a method, we know in the previous case we have written find max array and just pass the array length or simple array itself. In that method itself, we can just find out the length of the array. So this will give me the maximum element. So this method will give me maximum element. This is 478. This will give me 478. Now my max is 478. Now I'll run one loop. One loop we will run. How many times the passes loop? Only 3 times this loop should run. How you get to know? What should be the termination condition? Number of digits, how many times? Whatever the number of digits. Either you can say separately count number of digits and then write down the loop. Or what we can do, in one loop itself we can write, because for each, and now for each pass internally, for first pass we are dealing with this digit. So internally we are calling counting sort. Then for second pass, for this we are calling counting sort. Then for this we are calling counting sort. Yes, for all the 3 passes. So let's write down a loop, and within this loop we call what? Counting sort or count sort. We pass the array as well as the place value. Okay. But now within this loop itself we call this. But how to write down this loop? So this loop will be basically more focused on the place value. Place value ones, then tens, then hundreds, like this. So it's not that I is equal to 0 or I plus plus or kind of that. So let's take place. Or you can take I variable also, it's okay. But I would want to take a descriptive name. Place is equal to 1. Place value is at first 1. And how we increase, how this place value would be incremented? Into 10. At first place value is 1, then 10, then 100, then 1000. So we, in each, after each iteration we multiplied by 10. I think you know this thing. So while updating we write place, whatever the place, into 10. But now what should be the termination condition? Into 10 or into equal to 10? That's very shorthand operator. Into equal to 10. It means place is equal to place into 10. But what is the termination condition? How many digits? Have to find out digits. See, the maximum number is 478. Place value at first is 1. How many times? Number of digits 3. So 3 times I want that this loop should run. So whatever the max value is 478. Divide by, if I write place value, if it's greater than 0, till then run this loop. At first place is 1, max value is 478. Place value is 1. Is it greater than 0? Yes. So we will enter here. Next time place value becomes 10. So next time the condition is maximum value would be as it is, place value would change. It's 10. Divided by 10 is, it will give me 47. 47 greater than 0? Yes. Again, enter here. Third time place value will be incremented. It becomes 100. So for condition max is 478, same, place value becomes 100. Now this becomes 4. Is 4 greater than 0? Yes. Again enter and call. So 3 times we have called counting sort. Next time place value becomes into 10, into 10. This becomes now 0. Is it greater than 0? No. Stop. So yes, this is the termination condition. We don't need to like separately count the number of digits and then apply in this whole loop. No. Simple this condition you can write here. So what we write? Whatever the max value we have find out, divide by the place value greater than 0. Till then we run this loop, and in this loop we are going to call counting sort. That's how we do. By passing the array and the place value. Why place value? Because at that place value, whatever the value, on that digit only we apply, count sort. That's why we pass here place. Right? This is what the main logic of radix sort, and you know how to apply count sort. That's easy one. Same here. So let me just write down here the radix sort, that method. So now at first place is 1, condition true, yes, we enter here and we call this count sort. Yes. Now in this we are passing only array and the place value. So rather than this, how we change it? I'm changing the previous count sort coding itself, the logic itself. So rather than this, I just name it place. Or let's change here with this color so that you get to know where we have changed. So the variable name I have taken place. Now no need to find out maximum element here. Okay, now thing is, let's see why I'm saying this. In count sort, what happens is, suppose let's take now fetch this 3, because this is my digit. So let's take 3 2 3 2 0 5 8 8. So ultimately we are applying counting sort on this digit only. We are not focusing on this. Ultimately, right? To somewhat. We are not exactly fetching this, but yeah, to somewhat, let's discuss this in a simpler way. How we apply count sort on this array? First way was find out the maximum element. Maximum is 8. Now we take a count array of which size? 9 size. Whatever the maximum element plus 1. That's why here we have written find out maximum element and take a count array with this. But in this case, this drawback, there is no such kind of drawback here, because see, radix means base as well. Base. Radix is base itself. Base of what? In which number system you are working? If you are working in binary system, 0 1, so base is 2. If you are working with like this are what? Decimal numbers. So the base is 10, we know, because normally numbers would be from 0 to 9. You can say every digit you can check, the number is 0 to 9. For this digit place value, number is 0 to 9. For this also, for this also, for this also. So in decimal number, the base or the radix is 10 always. Numbers would be 0 to 9 itself. Yes. That's why it's known as radix sort. Now, the count array size doesn't depend on the maximum number and all. The count array size would always be 10. 10. Ranging from 0 to 9. We know that we are dealing with decimal numbers. Range is 0 to 9. Radix is 10. So we always take count 0 to 9. Because for every place value, you get the number either 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. So that's why we take 0 to 9, the count. So the count array size is fixed in this case, that is 10. That is, you can say you can say one of the advantages of this radix. So count array size is fixed. Whether the number is a very long number having phone numbers or 8-digit roll numbers or zip code or whatever. But whatever, if you are dealing with binary number, the base is 2, so the count array size would be 2, only having index 0 and 1. If you are dealing with characters or strings, the base is, if you think that I will only, if the condition is in this you have only fixed size strings, the number, the alphabet from A to Z. So you can take the count array size 26. Or if you take whole the sky length, because there can be A to Z capital A to Z or some alphabets or space or some other symbols and like that. So in that case, you can take count array size 256. But it is fixed. The main thing is it is fixed. Depends on the number system you are using. But here we are dealing with only numbers, that is decimal numbers, integers. So in my case, count array size is 10 always. That's the main thing. So we have taken a count array size will always be 10 here. So let's just change it and let's make it 10. So do we need to find out this max element? No. So let's comment out this. No need to write down this line. Now we have a count array 10 having size 10. Same, we apply what? Now let me just write down this thing here. Or let's discuss here itself. This is my array actually, right? So for now, at first, max, find max, that is this. Place value is 1. This condition true. Yes, we are calling count sort. We are passing this array and place. Place is 1. So place is right now 1. We are passing 1. Here 1. Count array we have taken of size 10. Yes. Now what we need to do? Same apply count sort. It's nothing different. What we need to do? Now place is this. Place is 1. This. So we have to fetch this digit. Whatever at this place. Whatever at 1's place right now. Then only we can apply like count sort. So rather than directly writing here, yeah, we run from 0 to n. 0 to n. N is the size of this array, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So we run from here to here, but we don't deal with the complete number. Like here, access array of I is 0. I don't want to access this complete number. No, I want to access only this digit. This, which is at 1's place. Right? So here, rather than this thing, what you need to write? What do you think? First, fetch the digit. Have to fetch the digit. Here we write one more line here. Before this count, within this for loop, we write one more line. Let me just write down that line. Here itself. I am fetching the digit. This one. Have to fetch from this number. Have to fetch. Whatever the number, array of I. Yes. And divide by place. Whatever the place value. Here we have 1. Divide by 1. So 253 divided by 1 is 253 itself. And mod 10. Mod 10. Mod will give me the remainder. So if I do 253 mod 10, remainder would be 3, and that's exactly I want. Right? When I becomes 1, so I'll fetch this number 192, divide by place. Place is 1 for now. Mod 10, it will give me 2. 3, next time 3. 3 divided by place value is 1. So 3 divided by 1 is 3. 3 mod 10 is 3 itself. So 3. Then it will give me 2. Then it will give me 0, 5, 8, 8. That's exactly I want. Right? So that's how I can fetch these values. At first time I have fetched. Now in my array, suppose I have first 3, then 2, then 3, then 2, then 0, then 5, then 8 and 8. This is my array. Now what we update this count. We update this count. At first 3. So at third index, at first we have 0, 0, 0 we know in this count array. We increment by 1, then 2, increment by 1, then 3, again increment by 1, then 2, again increment by 1, then 0, increment by 1, then 5, here at 5th index increment by 1, 8 at 8th index by 1, again 8th index increment by 1. So now the count array is 1, 0, 2, 2, 0, 1, 0, 0, 2, 0. That's how we do. So same count of whatever the digit you get, that will act as a index. In that index, I'll just do plus plus. These two lines. Now we are applying stable count sort. So again, you have to update this, modify this count to find out the positions. So that is simple. We just run the loop from 1 till count dot length I plus plus, and count of I would be count of I plus count of I minus 1, that we know. So updated count array would be something like this. At first we have 1, that would be as it is. Then 1 plus 0, 1. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 0, 5. 5 plus 1, 6. 6 plus 0, 6. 6 plus 0, 6. 6 plus 2, 8. 8 plus 0, 8. This is my updated count array now after this loop. This loop would be as it is. Next, now we take an output array. Okay, we take a separate output array we know. See, this is what the count sort. We have already discussed these steps. Only the change I'm just telling you step by step. So same, we have taken a count array. Sorry, output array. Output array size is same as this array size, that is 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So only 8. Now, what we do in this output array? Sorting based on this digit, we all store these values here. Then we copy these value back to the original array. 2 steps are still left. So we have taken output array. Now we run. How we do this thing? We run from here to here to maintain the stability. So I would be n minus 1 from here till greater than equal to 0. Till greater than equal to 0, I minus minus. Now in output array, what we do? At first, what we do, if you remember, here is the digit, that is 8. Because we have to deal with this digit. So again in this for loop, we have to fetch the digit. Directly we cannot apply this count or this logic on the complete number which is at ith index, that is 88. No, I have to apply the logic based on this place value, that is the digit by digit. So before writing this logic here, again you have to fetch the digit. So again write down this line. Same line. Array of I divided by place mode 10. Same line. So at the very first, when I is n minus 1, I is this. Number is 88 divided by place is 1, mode 10 is 8. It will give me 8. At first it will give me 8. Right. So it will give me 8. Now, in this count array, go to this 8th index. This is my 8th index. Okay. This 8th index, whatever the position, we first do minus 1. And whatever that 7 you will get in this output array at 7th index, now we store the value, that is this value. So complete 88 will be stored. Okay. Okay. Now same thing you have to write. In this count of, now rather than array of I, right, we here write, after fetching this digit, we write here the digit. So the digit was 8, right? Now we just do minus 1, that is 7. So it becomes complete like 7. Count of digit is 8. 8 minus 1, 7. So this 7 is the index for this output array. Output array index 7. At 7th index, we store whatever the element ARR of I, that is 88, we store here. Now we do, actually, now we decrement this. So we just decrement it. Rather than array of I, we write here digit. Digit was 8. So at 8th index, whatever the value, then do minus minus. So it becomes 7 now. Right? I hope you get it. So next time when I minus minus, now I becomes this. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I was first 7, then it becomes 6. Now this. Same this happens. Is it true? Yes. Enter here. Count of, first find out digit. Array of I is 478. 478 divided by place value is 1. So, and then mode 10. It will give me again 8. So, count of digit is 8. Count of 8. Count of 8 was updated by 7. We do minus 1. That is 6. 6. At 6th index in output array, we stored whatever the value, that is 478. And then actually we decrement it. So, we decrement it by 1, that is 6. Again, I minus minus. Now, I is this. Same thing would be repeated till here. Right. Now, see, after this first iteration, we go back here. Now, place value will be incremented into 10. So, now place becomes 10. Now, whatever array would be passed, whatever output array we get here. So, based on first this, the output array would be something like this. This was my output array after the first pass. Now I have to change the place value, that is 10. Now I'll deal with whatever the place value which at 10th place. So here there is no 10th place. Here we have this. Here there is no 10th place. Here we have this, this. Right? So now this is 10. It will be passed here. Now we have same array and place value. Count will be same again. 10, the same count array. This will be again, digit would be calculated. So now array of I, at first array of I is 10. See, array of I is now I is 0. So at 0th, now the updated array would be this, something like this, after first pass. So 10. Array of I is 10. 10 divided by place. Place is also 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 1 mode 10 is 1 itself. Right? So this will give me what? 1. And that's exactly the value 1 at 10's place. Right? 1. So count of digit means again we take the same count array with the 0, 0, 0. So at 1 index it will be incremented by 1. Like this things will happen. Same steps would be repeated. Now for the second, this second index. Now see, when this is the thing 2. So when array of I is 2, so 2 divide by place, 2 divide by 10, 2 divide by 10. What it will give? 0. Because it's 0.2. So we take only int value, that is 0. And 0 mode 10, 0. Right? So that's how here we have 0 itself. 0, 0 we consider. So that this value is 0. Okay. I mean the 10's value is 0 for this case. So at 0th index we increment the value for this. Same for this also, at 0th index we increment the value by this. So it's like 0 here, 0 here, something like this. We consider 0 here and here 0. So now you do one thing. You have to dry run this completely for every iteration, for every place value, and for every iteration here. Separately on a clean page, like just write down this, draw this count array, update count array, this array, output array, and divide by this. So you have to do this dry run this completely. Then you will write on a, you go to your ID and practice this thing. Because once you dry run this, then only you will get, okay, this is how things are actually happening in Redix sort in every pass, digit by digit, how these are sorted, how the numbers are sorted. Otherwise, you will not get it. Right. Now, if I talk about the time complexity for this, we know that for count sort, the time complexity is, we know there are few loops, like loop is running from 0 to n. So number of elements n plus 1 is the count. Count length was in count sort k we consider. So it was n plus k. Yes, for count sort n plus k. But now, how many times this count sort is called? How many times? The number of digits in the maximum number. So let's suppose number of digits are d. Because there is another for loop 9 Redix sort. Place is 1, then this, and we are calling this count sort. So internally this count sort time complexity is order of n plus k. But how many times you are calling it? These much times, d times. So the time complexity for Redix sort is d into n plus k. Here d is the number of digits in the maximum number. Here it's 3, so 3. That's actual time complexity. But if d is small, k is also fixed in this case, that is 10, count array size 10. So we can write down this linear time complexity, that is order of n. But actually this is the time complexity, actual time complexity for Redix sort. We take it linear. Space complexity, what extra thing you are taking? Count array, output array. For count array, the size is fixed 10. So we consider it, suppose k. So space complexity is also for this order of n plus k. Space complexity. N is, we take a separate output array, same size of n. K is the count array size. And order of d into n plus k, that is the time complexity for Redix sort. Right. So why we need, now the formula and the actual how the working of the Redix sort, how the things are working behind the scene. Let's now pause the video and try to run this code. So in a sorting algorithm, this package, let's create a new class name as Redix sort. And Within this, I'm just writing the main, I'm taking the array. This is my array. Let's call radix sort. We'll define a method name radix sort, and there we'll pass only the array. Let's define this method here. Make it static because I'm calling it without creating the object of the class, and the name is radix sort, and we're just having the array. So at the very first step, you have to find out max element. So max element is equal to, let's define a method find max and pass their array. So we don't need to define this method because we have already defined this in count sort in the previous video. So I'll just copy paste the same thing, find max. But in this case, we are passing n also. I mean the length of this. So it's okay. Here also you pass whatever array dot length. Simple. It will find out the maximum element from this array and it will return that will be max element. Yes, got it. Now we have to run the loop. How many times? How many digits are there in this max element? So we take place. At first, place is 1. Termination condition is whatever the max element divide by whatever the place right now, it's 1, 10 or 100. And then if it's greater than 0, then we update place value is equal to into equal to 10. And for every this digit, for every pass in every digit, for every digit at that place value, we call count sort by passing the array and right now whatever the place value is. We'll not write down count sort here and just copy paste this thing. But you don't copy paste, you again write down yourself line by line. That's for practice purpose. That's for your practice. It will help you. Now count sort array. This line we don't need, so just delete it. Always the count array would be of fixed size, that is 10. Radix is 10, base is 10. So from 0 to n in the array, we just first find out the digit because now we are dealing digit by digit. Digit is equal to whatever the array of I divide by place. Okay. Now rather than n, I'm just taking the name place, variable name. Divide by the place value and mode 10. This will give me the digit at that place value. Mode 10. So then after getting the digit at that index value in this count array, just do plus plus. At starting in count array, everything is 0 0 0 at every place. Now same, we updated the count array with this loop, that will be fine. We'll take a, okay, there is no n now. So let's find out here. Int n is equal to whatever array dot length, that is n. Fine. Because here also we are writing the condition based on n. Here also n, length of the array, we create a second array output array. Now we run the loop. J is equal to n minus 1 till j greater than equal to 0, j minus minus. Now at first again, because we are dealing with digits, so again find out the same digit. But this time it's not I, we have taken j, the variable name. So let's rename it j. Same. After that, rather than array ARR of j, here whatever the digit you get, that you will write minus 1. At that index in the output array, just place whatever the array ARR of j. And then ARR of digit minus minus. Then less than this, whatever output array we have, again copy paste into the original array ARR of I. That's it. Rather than this traditional loop, we can use enhanced loop also. See the line here. So replace it with, sorry, it's for system copy, so we can replace it with array copy also. If you are comfortable, you can use this. It's always like sophisticated if you use this kind of methods rather than loops. But I just keep in mind that you are a beginner, so I'm just telling you with the help of for loop we can copy this. Otherwise you can use this also. Array copy, this method. Yes, from the system.java class. Source position, then destination position. Source is output, position from 0, destination is array, and destination position is 0. From 0 we'll start, and length of the array is n. So that's how we copy this. I guess we are done. And after that we can simply print this. How? We just call arrays dot toString and we pass my array. But to call this, you have to include which package? From util package, array is this class. So import java.util.arrays. This class, arrays.java. Within this class or itself, we have these toString methods, so we can call it. So yeah. Or without sorting also, if you call this before sorting, then after calling this, again this. Let's run this. So before sorting, this was my array. Yes, this was my array. After applying radix sort, this is my array. Yes, that's correct. This is my array. So this is how we apply radix sort. I don't think so it's tough because you know already count sort. So this much code you need to understand. That's it. Only the thing is you need to understand how this termination condition and how to fetch this digit. So one more thing. This radix sort, whatever we have seen, the standard approach, this will not work on negative numbers. This will work only on positive numbers. Suppose in your sorting, if in your you have to deal with negative numbers as well, then what you will do? You can change it a little bit. There are 2-3 approaches. I'll just give you a brief overview. You just try out yourself. First approach is, suppose I have this array, having negative numbers, positive numbers. So what we do is we first separate this two arrays. One is negatives. In negatives, I'll just store minus 45 and minus 90. The first approach is known as split and then merge. This is my array. Now I'll just take absolute value. So 45 and 90. Remove the sign, take absolute value. Now apply radix sort on this case. So applying radix sort, what will be the array? 45 and 90 itself. We know after sorting. But now you have to reverse this. Why so? Because 45, yeah, 45 we know less than 90. But actually these are negatives. Minus 45 less than minus 90. Is it true? No. Minus 90 is less than minus 45. So now you have to reverse it. So after reversing, this becomes minus 40, minus 90 and minus 45. Like this. So this is for negatives. Now one array is for positives. Let's name it positive. And here we have 192, 273, 55 and 678. So after applying the same approach, whatever we have seen the radix sort, same you apply here and you will get the sorting something like this. 2, then 55, then 73, then 192, then 678. Now we can merge this and this. So this will be minus 90, minus 45, 2, 55, 73, 192 and 678. And that's what the sorting you will get here in ascending order. This is one approach while if you want to deal with negative numbers, because directly standard radix sort will not work here. Second approach is what? In second approach, what we can do from this array, suppose this array is given, find out the minimum value. Find out min value. So the minimum value from this is, we know it's minus 90. So if its minimum value is negative, by applying some method, find out minimum value. If this is negative, then we just add absolute value of this, that is 90. Absolute value of minus 90 would be like 90. So we just add 90 here in every, you can say that element, every number. So here you will get after adding 90, 0 and otherwise some value. Now every value is positive. Now apply radix sort. After sorting, again you can just do what? Minus 90 from each number, and that's it. You will get. So like this, there are two approaches to handle negative numbers. This is for your assignment. You have to deal it yourself. You know what is radix sort, and I have told you the idea in brief how to handle negative numbers. I guess you can do it. So the standard radix sort we can apply only on positive integer number. No, we can't apply this on floating number as well. Yeah, on strings we can apply this. How? See, if we have string, suppose I have these two names. I have my name like Jenny. I am having second name is Gia. So generally we apply, or many names are there. Let's suppose only two names you are having. From this to this side, you can apply from this to this also, but generally we apply when we are dealing with strings, because they are you can say variable length of string we are having. So apply from MST to LST, from most significant digit to least significant digit. So compare J and J, SKI value, based on that value we compare, both are same, right? Now then compare with this one, E and E, E and I. So which one comes first? E. So Jenny would be first, then we write Gia. Like this we compare, if you have to compare on strings. So on strings, if you take, I told you the count array you will take of, if you fix that, I'll take only the numbers from A to Z. We can take 26 also. Otherwise, for a universal approach, you can take for all the SKI value, it's 256. So 256. For all the alphabets, small or capital, and some special symbols, space or semicolon or some like that. So total 256 you can take. It's up to you, right? But if you want to try, you can just take only like only A to Z numbers. That's it, smaller, and just take count array size 26. And based on the digit by digit, you same apply the same process. I hope you can do this. So we can sort the strings also, the characters also, using Redix sort by this. It's just that you have to take care of this base Redix. In this case, it's 26, so you can take 256. In decimal, it's 10. If you're dealing with binary number, it's 2. Right? Now, if I ask you the advantages, same time complexity is linear, so that is one advantage. Right? Okay, count sort also it's linear, but drawbacks of count sort is count sort cannot handle the long int value, like sorting of phone numbers, or 8-digit roll numbers, or zip code, or bank account number, something like this. So you have this kind of uniformly structured data, like bank account number, zip code, or something like this, then we can use Redix sort. So it's not that you can't think that Redix sort is a replacement for other sorting algorithm, because other sorting algorithm take time complexity and log n. And log n. Best is n log n, quick and merge, and it takes linear. No, it's not a replacement. It's just a special tool. When you have a special condition, whatever condition we have seen, sorting of phone numbers or something like this, we have a uniformly structured data kind of that. In that case, apply Redix. Right? So it's a special tool. It's not a replacement of other sorting algorithm. These sorting algorithms, whatever we have seen, they have their own advantages and drawbacks and their own applications. For general uses, we use those sort only, comparison based sorting. For special conditions, for special cases, we use this Redix sort, or sometimes count sort, these sorting algorithm. Right? So I hope you got now what is Redix sort, everything about this thing we have seen. You just try out for negative numbers or strings also. You can try out yourself. This is your assignment. Now, in the next lecture, we'll see shell sort. So now I'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye. Take care.